Hey Pox community, Bombman 007 back on the scene. Going to try to give you guys some more videos here, and going to start it out with a blast. Ryvirath, #1 player in Pox, coming in at the Pox Battlemaster. Shattered Peaks and Sunderlands, Aspect of Violence battle group, and it looks like he is going up against Croc423, coming in at 64 exotic league, and Croc is going full faction Shattered Peaks. So we'll see if Croc is able to contain the madness. Ryvirath's deck right now, flying undefeated. He's got the Aspect of Violence supercharged with Mantles and Dunewalkers, and pretty nasty, really ferocious. And the Aspect of Violence back in its heyday when it was first released was a really hated and feared piece. And well, you know, a few expansions under the belt and new runes out, it kind of got washed under the bridge like everybody else, you know, like everything else in Pox. But Ryvirath has certainly brought back its fear and dominance, and you might be able to see that in today's game as he goes up against the Croc Master, who is full faction Shattered Peaks, starting the game out with an Angel of Chaos, Goliath Fish. Riv right now has a Skywing Imperator and the Mixed Sand Snipe, which has vanished into the sand there. And immediately, Croc's going to head right to the center font to lock that thing up. Very smart move. Playing with the Albino Fish. The Mind Control, permanent Mind Control. Little booger, 7 speed, so you have to be very careful with the way that you approach those things. You have to keep your distance. Ryvirath throws out Moga Trailblazer, which is Exertion 3, little tiny Moga dude for 41 Moga, 41 Nora, and I'll tell you, those things are boogers. Extremely versatile, as Ryvirath proves time and again with his versatility and style of play. He shows that a 41 Nora Exertion 3 champ can almost be overpowered. I mean, believe it or not. So we'll see what happens to it here. Looks like Croc might put a very short leash on its life here, as he quickly reduces it to half life, and the Goliath Fish takes the lower font for Croc. And right now, let's see, Ryvirath still does not have his upper font, but that should change probably here with the Sand Snipe. We'll see. Skywing Imperator, Lightning Storm, Area of Effect, Acid Breath, Area of Effect, Storm Acolyte, so it heals anytime electricity damage is dished out. He's also an Acid Acolyte, so he heals his wounds up. He has Majestic and Regeneration, so the thing is an absolute booger to take down. Plus, with Desert Master, he can even grow in defense and damage for every 3 champions that occupy sand. And Ryvirath is playing a hybrid sand deck. It's not, you kind of hate to say it's not the theme of his deck, because his Aspect of Violence revolves around domain sand and things like that, but it's still, you know, kind of a hybrid sand deck. But he puts it to well use. The Mixed Sand Snipe captures the upper font for Ryvirath, so we're dead even on fonts. And Croc's going to go to work here, moving in the Goliath Fish. I've seen some more of them lately here. Ton of hit points, a lot of damage, and of course its feared ability is the Swallow Whole. So it's seen more action here, especially with him. I believe at one time it was 5 AP, which is very difficult for it to pull its signature move off. However, they've kind of lowered that down a notch, so that's been very helpful. He's moving the Albino Fish in to you know, to kind of keep things at bay. The fish is a very dangerous creature, has a effective 2, range of 2 on that, and for 4 AP he can snag the Mind of an opposing unit and quickly send him into the depths here. Or actually, since it's a permanent drain, it drains 8 hit points at the beginning of each of the turns. He can actually, it's a permanent control, so, and it can't be cleansed. So that's the nasty part to it. He don't have to necessarily worry about cliff diving until the thing's life reaches the end, if he chooses. But Snogby the Ant Bear. Riv is notorious for playing this little guy. He's the 150,000 gold rune for Sunderlands. Again, a very stout utility piece for the Shatter Peaks. He's got he's mythical, of course. Absorb. He's going to absorb, a range and then turn into an air eater, and then he's got Fascinate. So he draws things closer to him. And defensive turtle, so when he falls below 50%, he's going to fall into that defensive turtle, keep him alive. Sonic Greeting, which is why all of his guys are distracted here, and they took a little bit of damage, which is really Snogby's signature move, and it's really nasty. With everything taking 5 damage and becoming distracted, it puts a real hurt on those guys. And then a Sonic Aura, he's going to deal 6 damage to everything within 2 spaces at the end of the turns, and he distracts every time he hits. Range 1 to 4, 54 hit points. So Snogby's a very, very strong utility piece. And let's see, Croc is really not backing down from this battle group. He probably knows its capabilities, but boy, he's really going to work on it. He's got the Hane of Fish Wrangler, Terrific Howl, Cackle, Tunnel Earth, Motivate, so now he's given every single friendly champion in play +1 damage. The Dogpile ability from the Hyenas, and the Scramble, so every time he makes an attack, everything else gains 1 AP. So, that's pretty neat. Now, see, here's the thing about the Distract. This worm would normally be able to Tunnel Earth into range of the Imperator. And let me see. Now I have to remind myself. Can he get flying guys here? Yes, he is able to target flying guys with this. But see, because if he's distracted, he can't use the Tunnel Earth or the Swallow Hole ability right now. So he's having to kind of wait for that to remove, which it did. But Ryvirath is well alert of that, so it wouldn't surprise me if the Imperator ends up a little bit further away from that fish this time around. So Ryvirath is back up, and we'll see what he can do this time. Ryvirath has a very signature style play. He never rushes any of his turns. He always takes generally 20-30 seconds each and every turn to think out well what he's going to do for that round, and then executes with unbelievable precision and accuracy. So we'll see if he's able to get this battle group set up now and try to get this aspect going. Angel Chaos, Magic Bomb 3. Okay, so he's going to move up a little. And there we go. We have the aspect of violence on the field. And Riv is going to go ahead and dish a little damage. Out on the fish, the Sonic Aura actually catches Riv's unit. Okay, so down goes the Trailblazer. So that will open up the font for Croc, as he's got the Angel alive and well in there. Nothing with Ryvirath right now, and we'll probably see the fish go to it here. The problem is if he does go in, he can swallow up something, but he's probably not going to be able to get away. And right there, we just seen that. Let's see. He just cast Alacrity, so that gives the Angel 4 AP and it loses 8 hit points. Excuse me. Distracts the Imperator, which is not a bad idea. Right now, Croc's not. Okay, here goes the fish. And sensing its danger, pulls the fish back. So Riv was able to scare him enough with the damage dealt that he backed him off. And I'm sure that's exactly what Ryvirath was hoping to do. And so, as you can tell, Ryvirath, with his just excellent gameplay, even though he's outnumbered champ-wise, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them on the board for Croc. Ryvirath's excellent placement and ability to play, he's using just a small force, even with limited AP, to hold off all of Croc's units. So he has just an uncanny ability to foresee, things like that in Pox, and that's why he is certainly arguably the best player, and from some people's standpoints, not so arguably the best player in Pox. So we'll see what happens here. Riv moves the Skywing up just a little. $34 health left, and it has the distracted condition right now, which is the ring around it. It has the boosted damage and defense, as you can tell, because of the Sandmaster. But Rivy does have his the big aspect in play, and now here goes Snogby right up into the middle of all of his forces. Sets up with a Thunderhead Totem and follows it up with a Lightning Storm that's going to dish out quite a bit. And if you'll notice, every single point of that, every time those guys were hit with that electricity damage, the Skywing Imperator was healed, so quickly back up to 42 life. And just like that, Riv is now only down 1 piece, and actually has, a decent stance in the game right now. Snogby is not going to die because of the defensive turtle ability. So, excellent stuff there. Snogby can't be eaten by the worm because of his distracting aura, which is or the deafening aura, which is distracting everybody and causing mass mayhem there. And see, with just 1 hit, Snogby goes into the defensive stance. So that's exactly what Riv was counting on. He knew that he would probably take a lot of damage, but as soon as he goes under 50%, Snogby goes into the defensive crouch, which is exactly what he did. So now he's impervious and things, and so that really prevents him from being killed. Now the problem that Snogby's going to have is that when he does stand up, he's not going to be able to move from his current location without some sort of help from Riv, with maybe a relocation, or perhaps he doesn't care at this stage if he does die. But but he's done his job. He got rid of the mind control threat, so that's gone. He dished out pretty good damage with the Thunderhead Totem, and so we'll see what happens now. Snogby with just a 3 speed because of being stalled from the Cyclops War Wizard. So Snogby is not going anywhere unless Riv has some way again of relocating him, which I'm not too aware of in Sunderlands and Shatterpeaks. But again, probably not the main part of his concerns right now. I figure he'll probably target the Fish Wrangler and go ahead and get that thing out of play. So there's the Acid Breath. Again, the Imperator will heal for the damage done. See, 4 more hit points. And the thing is right back to full life, even though he was down a pretty decent chunk a while ago. Fish Wrangler is really struggling with 17. And now 6. The Sand's not going to work on him. The Angel becomes distracted. And I wonder if he'll be able to chasm that thing somehow. She has already intensified, so she's not going to be regain her health anymore. And let's see what Ryvirath's got in store for these two. Here comes the Lightning Storm again. He'll be targeting the Angel, and that will do it for. No, it was. I'm sorry, it was Havoc's Touch. They've got the same sound effect, Savage Touch, on the Mixed Sand Snipe, so that it gains high damage, it gains +5 damage, and it gains essence capture. So the Sand Snipe was able to finish off both the Angel and the Fish Wrangler, and then the Aura, Sonic Aura, is what ended up killing them off. Everything within 2 spaces takes that 6 damage. And again, Ryvirath is an absolute expert of knowing exactly what his pieces do, knowing exactly what everybody else's pieces do, and exactly how to work through them. And see, now if you'll notice, Ryvirath's position's already changed mightily. Instead of hanging out down here outside the font and over here outside the font, now Ryvirath is not only challenging the font, but is now threatening to outright take it. And with the aspect of violence at 6 charges and at 4 AP, you know without a shadow of a doubt that thing is going to be just absolutely fixing to come unglued on something here in just a minute. And that's the whole thing. He'll have 10 AP, and even from his current spot, he would be able to move and nearly one round the Lance Admiral without too much of a problem. So we'll see what happens, but that's Ryvirath's whole point to his battle group, and so far he was pushed back early, but he's fought through it and has got Croc already on the ropes quite a bit. We'll see if we don't see there's the Sand Snipe going ahead and finishing off the Thunderhead Totem and get it out of the way. So now the board is relic free. The Aspect is not able to attack relics as it is skirmisher only. Moves it into position, and one of the combos that he has going on right now is the Dunewalker's Mantle. And the Dunewalker gives him, the Mantle gives him Domain Sand and Sand Striker, which immediately boost up that damage and things. And was that a transfusion? It was a transfusion. Target champion loses all the AP, and the next one gains that much. There's the Dunewalker's Mantle and a Havoc's Touch, and watch the Aspect absolutely go to work on Lance Admiral now. This is where it absolutely gets painful, and the Zealotry. Wow. This is absolutely going to be painful. And so Lance Admiral is down in just 2 quick fail moves. A Sandstorm in order to keep the sand on the bottom. And down it goes, and then ricochets into the Cyclops. And thank God that it is out of AP, maybe, unless he has another transfusion on hand. No, he'll give Croc one more round to live, and that is exactly what Ryvirath has done with the Aspect of Violence. He has absolutely brought that thing back to life. When it was first released, it was a monstrosity, feared, by all the Pox Nations. Nerf cries abundantly, but it really hasn't changed a whole lot since its launch. One of the few runes that's actually survived the Nerf cries, all despite the fact that it was an extremely powerful rune. And now all of a sudden it's re-entered the scene in Pox with with Ryvirath, and he has certainly brought the word fear back into that incredible runes wording. So here we go. We got just 2 AP. However, with the way that transfusion works, um, he'll be able to slap an enormous amount of AP on that thing from the sand snipe, which is right here, and the imperator, which is right here. If he moves that imperator out, and maybe up to challenge Croc's upper font here, since the fish has captured his lower one, then you're likely to see a transfusion happen to the aspect, but we'll see what Riv is able to do. Right now, there is a lot of Nor on this thing. I mean, you got the Dunewalker's Mantle, you've got the Havoc's Touch, and the Zealotry, all that has been slapped on this thing. Okay, and there's an Alacrity. So the Alacrity gives it 4 AP. And see, now you're fixing to watch if he can stay in the sand. Nope, he's going to run out of sand. So the aspect challenges the font. However, he doesn't have any sand to work off. Now that's the other catch to it. As long as it's got sand under its feet, it's able to use its whirl blades and continue to just mow down champions. But that has stalled out at this time because of its lack of sand. The sand snipe quickly does a ton of damage to the fish, which is down to just 12 life now. And let's see, that will Garen the Sharp Fang. Wow. Oh, Garrett. Just saw a discussion about him in the forums not too long ago, talking about how people really hadn't seen him, and then somebody was actually complaining about him being overpowered. But Garen's days have been very, very limited ever since his Nora cost hit into the 60s. Not many players play with him anymore, and certainly not too many complain about him being overpowered. But Garen is certainly a potentially nasty machine, especially combined with Forbidden Fruit. He can kill multiple targets with his Scythe Whirl. So I mean, or at least I've been told that works. So confirm that with me. But I've heard that Forbidden Fruit does work very, very well with the combined fruit. Now, wow! Now this is a nifty move. Okay, now this could certainly be interesting. Anyway, he just cast Nublin Surprise Pies, which is a spell I haven't even seen used, and what it does is it creates meat pies all around these things. Now, he's going to gain the ability to devour at a cost of 1 AP per. However, since the aspect can't attack it, he's not going to be able to attack them, so he might very well just start gobbling down pies in order to clear them out from around him. All he's got to do is clear 2 of them, and he's going to be on club. But very interesting move. That's funny. If he does eat one, I think it heals him for 10, and he's got a 50% chance of becoming Gahern bound, which means he'll lose 3 damage and a speed, which is really not that big a deal. But now here's the problem. The combination here is the tunnel sand and the trail sand, especially the trail sand for the aspect, keeping him in his domain at all times. And that is where the domain... Oh, wow. And bye-bye, fish. See, just like that, it's absolutely just over. That time he actually attacked. So there goes the Goliath fish. And let's see if he is able to do in Micah. Nope, she's gonna make it through one time, which means she might actually live to soothe him. Maybe. Riv goes ahead and takes out the summoned fish, and he places him with trail sand, so sand will be under his feet now. And let's see here. This is awestruck, guys. 14 damage, 5 speed, 3 defense, 50 hit points in an awestruck condition. I just want you to keep that in mind. The thing is absolutely incredible. Now, one thing that I don't think Riv can get through is being pacified. So we'll see if he's actually able to attack pacified. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it just really, at this stage, wouldn't surprise me at all. Club futilely throws a boulder or something at him, but I mean, it was so a pitiful attempt. It really just didn't matter. 6 damage. And the reason is this thing's got scale armor, so it takes 25% damage after defense anyway. And with him having the bounty hunter of Shattered Peaks, it erases another 30% damage. So I mean, that's 55% damage. It's down the hatch, before it even goes through. So that's absolutely incredible. So Croc is still alive and well with the fish. Going to let's see here. Oh, okay. So we got Spike in play now. Spike is the equipment for Club. He gains toughness 3, and Tactician, which increases the range by 1 for friendly units within 3 spaces. Skywing Imperator puts on the mantle, which gives him Domain Sand and Sand Striker. So absolutely nasty. Plus 7 damage right up off the hatch. Garen the Shark Fang takes care of the Goliath fish. So Ryvirath will get his font back down low. The mixed sand snipe has the ability to tunnel through sand and has a trail of sand. So we'll see where that cat heads out to. So there goes the sand snipe. And he's going to come over to challenge Club. And there's some fat damage. And this is the reason why this battle group is undefeated. I mean, it just has such a blend of... I mean, everything just works together so well. I guess you could call it a sand battle group, but Ryvirath wins another one. Croc423 gave a good run, but just an absolutely another incredible battle group from Riv. So we appreciate his genius. And this is BombMan007. I'll catch you guys next video.